Thank you very much, Victor. I've actually lived here a lot longer than 25 years. I've lived here since I was a kid. I grew up in Merrickville, actually, and went to high school in Kemptville, so I know this land and these structures very, very well. I do have notes because if I go off script, things can get very bad very quickly, so I will stick to the paper. It's so nice to see everyone. Many of you I'm getting to know rather well as our prison opposition efforts have continued. Thank you to all the speakers this morning. It's clear that the asset our town has in this land is more valuable to our collective long-term viability than some people would care to admit. I'll keep things brief this morning, but I did want to share a few points with you. Last week, I attended the all-candidates debate in Kemptville, and there were 6 candidates on stage. And out of all 6, only 1 supported the proposed prison. Anyone want to venture a guess who that was? I can tell you it wasn't Mark Snow who's here today, it wasn't Chris Wilson that's here today, and it was not Josh Bennett who's here today. We've been inviting Steve Clark to come and meet with us, to listen to us, and to understand our concerns. And despite his assurances from him to do so, he even made these in Queen's Park about 6 months ago, he hasn't followed through. I'm quite sure that he and others involved with the proposed prison hope we will just go away. So now that he is reelected as this riding's MPP, we all need to send him a very clear message that our opposition efforts won't waver and remain unchanged. Our commitment to seeking the truth about the site selection, the environmental site assessments, and other due diligence, and the cost to us as taxpayers, and whether or not, and this is even a fundamentally basic one, even whether a prison is actually even needed. The fact is, our resolve is even stronger now. Mr. Clark has a lot of skin in the game, and his accountability to us remains unchanged. So we've been asking for information about why Kemptville was chosen for nearly 2 years, and what scarce information Infrastructure Ontario and the Ministry of the Solicitor General did provide clearly indicated that Kemptville was not selected because it checked all their boxes. In fact, it did not. I think Kemptville was selected because they didn't think we had the interest or tenacity to push back. They banked on the small group of outsiders, as Steve Clark called us. Yeah, we all live here. We're not outsiders. They banked on the small group of outsiders, as Steve Clark called us, to initially oppose it for a while and then lose interest. Well, I can tell you that's not what's happening. It's time to push even harder because there is reason they don't want to disclose the information about the site selection process or what led to the announcement back in August of 2020. It simply doesn't add up, and none of it does. Our goal has been clear from the start. We've simply been trying to establish the facts regarding how Kemptville was selected as the location. The information wasn't made available, so concerned residents filed numerous Freedom of Information requests to seek the facts, and the requests have been repeatedly stalled or denied by the province. The level of secrecy surrounding the site selection process is cause for concern, and the question we need to continue to ask is why? Infrastructure Ontario and SolGen, why not just show us that there is a process and that you followed it? The land transfers have not been completed between the Ontario Ministry of Agriculture and SolGen. The extra land that our mayor has been talking about has not been transferred to the North Grenville municipality. The costs of police services to the proposed prison are still destined to come out of our pockets. Remember that SolGen no longer foots that bill. We do. And also remember that our mayor, deputy mayor, CAO, and councillors promised that they would not support SolGen's proposed prison if there was any chance of cost to us as local taxpayers. Our CAO was quoted as saying, quote, "The development won't cost the municipal taxpayers 1 cent. That's one thing we can easily quell," unquote. Our mayor, in the same article, "It's not our job to bear the burden of the facility. It would be entirely inappropriate for us to invest in infrastructure on their behalf," unquote. I think they need to be reminded of those statements. So I'll wrap things up by saying that it has never ceased to amaze me how many aspects of this proposed prison simply don't make sense. And I think it is for that reason that I'm invested in our continued plight to seek the facts. Why go to such lengths to seek the truth, one might ask? But some things are worth fighting for. Am I right? This land is worth fighting for. Our right to know the facts about this site selection is worth fighting for. Holding decision makers and gatekeepers of the information we seek accountable is worth fighting for. Persistence in place of complacency. That is what we need from all of you in the months to come. freedom of information requests, and involvement by the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario, upcoming municipal elections, the 2022 International Plowing Match, ever-growing support from agricultural stakeholders to save farmland, and other cards in our deck that we haven't even shown yet. These are all solid opportunities to continue our efforts that started many months ago. This is unfinished business, and we are pleased to have the continued support from all of you to see this through. Thank you for your time.